I'm a college dropout and I just released my first AI enterprise software at the age of 20 years old. And where a lot of people would say I had the experience from college, I must have been super smart, to this day, I still don't know how to code. I was a kinesiology major and that was too hard for me, so I switched to being a business major. And yet I was still able to fully build a software that's going to be sold to multi-million-dollar companies. The company is called Orion AI. It automates life insurance sales for agencies doing millions of dollars a month and agents as well. It uses things like voice AI, SMS AI, and soon we'll also design email AI. And the reason I'm making this video is because I want you to know you can do the exact same thing. So I'm going to show you what the software actually looks like and how it's legit. And then I'll explain exactly how I built this all on my own. So this software is specifically a CRM software, or a customer relationship management software. Now what we also did was tie in AI that is fully designed for life insurance space into it. So you can see here with all the test leads, you can call directly in the CRM or you can call via here. But what the cool thing is actually the SMS drip campaigns and voice AI campaigns. So let's say you enroll someone in any of these voice campaigns here. What's going to happen is AI is going to call the lead, as you can see here, and it actually speaks to me. And you can see me testing with it. Right here, speaking to the AI agent and then hanging up on it. But if we want to look at an actual legit call here, you can see it goes back and forth, and this is what it's talking to me on the phone going over. And then same thing here with the SMS AI. You enroll it in the same campaign. It does all the follow-up, all for the agent, and then you can even see it goes back and forth with the lead as well. Calendar integration, pipeline management. And the cool thing about this AI is we designed it to have full memory. So regardless of if a lead was texting the AI and then it called the AI would know exactly what happened in the text, or vice versa, what happened in the call. And that's what allows this software to actually do more than just doing the initial qualification. It follows up with leads. It follows up on leads that have lost their policy or canceled their policy. It creates referrals, it does appointment reminders, it does the whole thing. And the entire thing is fully customizable as well, so all agents have their own thing. And I'm not telling you this to try to sell you. Sure, I'm showing off the software that I'm very proud of that launched today, and maybe if you're an agent, I would like for you to have some sort of interest to become a client, but I show you this to show that it's real. It's professional, it looks clean, it works well. It has security, it has auth, all that kind of thing. And this took me 3 months to build. It took me less than $10,000 to build, which I could have done it a lot cheaper looking back. And I did it all by myself. This type of software would cost the average company before now hundreds of thousands of dollars to build. Look at things like Go High Level, Close.com, all that kind of stuff. You need teams of 100 people to build this. And now a college dropout can build something that's competing with it in the span of 3 months. And the secret behind this is using AI. And what we're doing with AI is what's known as vibe coding. And what vibe coding is it's going with the vibe, prompting the AI, and just running with whatever code or suggestions it gives you. And that name came because AI did awful jobs. It cannot code. It used to throw shit at the wall. It would write thousands of lines of code and none of it would work, but it would do it very beautifully. But that's the thing. Until now, AI can fully build enterprise-grade softwares with front-end, back-end, database, auth, security, private integrations, API, MCPs, CLIs. It can troubleshoot, do the whole thing for you. And this is something that no one has taken advantage of yet, that you can use to get levels ahead of everyone else in your career. And to understand how to do this, you need to understand how the AI is used. The AI cannot do everything on its own, and it cannot do everything in one go. Coding is like writing words on a piece of paper. It's like writing an essay. However, coding is the language for computers. Essays are written in English. It's for humans. Now, if you ask an AI to write you an essay, it's going to do as well as the context you give it. So if you give it a lot of context, it's going to do pretty well. If you give it no context, it's going to be a shitty essay. It works the exact same way for coding. The AI is really bad for product management. It's really bad for design. It is really bad for actually figuring out how to build these things. But it's really good at connecting the dots if you know the basic steps to build it. And so over 3 months, I learned the foundation, the principles, the building blocks to building enterprise grade software, and then was able to use AI to connect all the dots. So here's what you need: front end, back end, database, auth, security. And you also need things like servers to actually deploy your software app on. And you need things like DNS or external integrations depending on what you're building, or to host a web app. But the main components of building it: front end, back end, database, auth, security. Front end is what I showed you. It's literally what is on the screen. It's what the users interact with, otherwise known as UI, user interface. That's your front end. Back end is how the front end actually works in the back of this system. So the back end is all the code, API calls, the GET request, POST request to the database. If you're using external softwares or enterprise providers in your software, it's all the integrations directly into those. And it's how the software actually functions. Up until now, the reason AI was so bad was it could build a fairly decent front end, but it was really bad at linking the backend and database to the front end. And that leads us to the database, and that's where all the data that is actually used in the software is stored. Now, the great thing about this is the database is actually super simple. You can just do something like Supabase or Postgres, and that's going to scale up with you. Eventually, you'll need stuff like DigitalOcean, Kubernetes, clusters when data becomes large. But for a majority of people, that will work. And then the AI can actually go in and build the tables to be exactly how you need it. But again, you got to tell it what information it should be taking in. And so once you have front end, back end, and database, you actually have a functioning app. But does that mean it's ready to deploy? And deploy means to actually let other people access it. No. That's where auth and security come in. Auth, or authorizations, is what blocks people from saying logging in randomly, or it's giving password and signing credentials, OTP verification codes. It's one layer that protects users' data. And then security is a second layer of actual protection of users' data, and that includes things like rate limiting, encryption, structuring your environmental variables so your API keys aren't hard-coded in your software, webhook headers, and there's a bunch of other lists of things that you need to pay attention to when you are actually developing for security. But that's what makes your software safe for not only you, but also your clients and your users to actually use it. And so, for example, for the voice AI, it was able to connect all the dots, but I had to tell it how to build itself. So I had to know that the voice AI was composed of different things. So first, we need SIP trunking to actually set up and initiate the calls. We need speech to text to take the transcript. We need an LLM model to review the transcript and the prompt in knowledge base and then give a response. And that response needs text to speech, which is going to create the voice that speaks to the client. You need worker pods to process everything. You need specific prompts and tools so the AI can actually move the lead down the sales process, book appointments, live transfers, all that kind of things. And then in terms of memory, I needed to know how the memory actually exists in the system, how to build it in so then the AI could connect the dots from there. Again, I still don't know how to code. I couldn't write a line of JSON or Python, even if a gun was pointed to my head, but I can understand the building blocks so then the AI can write for me. And the way that you can start launching these companies is insane. This released today. In about a month, I have a fitness app that I've been co-founding with another fitness influencer with hundreds of thousands of followers and networks. And shortly after that, I'll have another web app, software/app coming out that's primarily designed for UGC, clipping, all that sort of stuff. And it's absolutely insane what you can do with AI now. And this is only scratching the surface. This is just product development. This doesn't include things like marketing. It doesn't include things like design. It doesn't include things like sales. It doesn't include things like analysis. We are at the tipping point of AI where builders are going to have a career. Anybody who is not using AI to build and own their own company is going to be out of a job within years. I mean, if you look at people like Sam Altman or the CEO of Anthropic, they are all trying to be conservative, saying that 50% of jobs will be replaced by AI in the next 2 to 3 years. And that is conservative. In the next 5 years, that could be upwards of 80 or 90%. And then who's the people that are actually going to maintain their career? It's those who have actually built the systems that AIs work in. Because then you're using AI to replace what other people needed to do, instead of AI replacing what you needed to do. And so if you've been thinking of what you should get into, what you should start leveraging to get ahead of yourself in your career, if you're not getting into a business model where you can actually go ahead and leverage AI in it, you will be replaced. And so what can you do? Start playing around with AI, using it as tools, seeing how it can automate your personal life, seeing how it can automate your current business process or your current work processes, and then actually start to use it to advance your career and make money. And if you want to check out Orion AI for yourself, we have a 2-week free trial for every single agent that signs up. Partner with agencies for a discount. You can go to the link in the description to check that out. If you found this helpful, I would greatly appreciate a like or a comment, or even subscribe if you're feeling generous. Greatly appreciated. I plan on putting out a lot more videos, especially as my portfolio scales, breaking down how you can actually use this, how you can vibe code yourself, or you can build apps yourself, so then you can get ahead of things too. But for now, I appreciate you watching. Have a blessed rest of your night. See you in the next video.